Hello and welcome you all. We are in the process of learning type conversion in Python. First, I want to tell you why these type conversions are very much important. Okay. Now, in our last lecture, when we were discussing about the input function, there I have mentioned one very important point about input function is that whatever input user is giving, whether it is an integer input user is giving or string input, then always remember input function stores them as string only. That means even if you are giving some input as integer, it will be stored by the input function as string. So naturally, you can't do any kind of mathematical calculation on those string values, right? So what we have to do, I told you in my last class also that we have to convert the data type. Now, here comes the importance of type conversions. So what is type conversion? Now, type conversion in Python, it refers to the process of converting a data type value from one data type to another. Okay. Now, how shall I do this type conversion? There are two types of type conversions in Python. One is implicit type conversion, which is performed by the Python interpreter automatically. Remember, we don't have to worry about it. In some cases, Python interpreter automatically does this type conversion. Okay, but there are other type of type conversions, which is called explicit type conversion, which is performed by the Python programmer manually. That means as a user, whenever I'm writing any program, then I am doing manual type conversion, and that is called explicit type conversion. So I want to discuss with you these two type conversion in details. So let's first start with implicit type conversion. As I have already told you that in Python, implicit type conversion happens when Python interpreter automatically converts one data type to another without any user interference during compilation or runtime, because Python does everything automatically. Okay, so let's start with an example. Suppose I have declared a equal to 5, which is an integer, b equal to 2.0 is it's a float. So I have declared these two variables a and b. Now if I want to add these two values a and b, now result is the name of the variable which will be storing the value a plus b. Okay, but here note one thing, the result is coming at the output as 7.0. That means Python has automatically, implicitly converted integer a to float. That's why the result is coming with a decimal point 7.0. And that also you can verify. If you type result, then also it will give you that this is belonging to class float. Now, why it is doing it? Because Python always converts smaller data types to larger data types to avoid the loss of data. Okay, so remember one thing, you can ask me this question, why Python converted this integer to float but not vice versa? That means float to integer, why didn't it convert? Because it is avoiding loss of data by converting smaller data types to larger data types. Okay, that is the implicit type conversion in Python. We will see some more examples whenever we will be moving on to Jupyter. Now, suppose you want to change a variable from higher data type to lower data type. That means in previous case, we converted the integer to float. But suppose I want to convert it in opposite manner, means I want to convert float to integer. In that case, implicit type conversion is ineffective. So what would you do? In that case, we have to make use of this particular type, explicit type conversion. And this is done by the programmer manually, because programmer manually changes the data type of a variable using some built-in function. So what is explicit type conversion? In explicit type conversion, users convert the data type of an object to the required data type using the built-in functions like int, float, str or string function to perform this explicit type conversion. This particular type conversion is also called typecasting, because the user's cast means changes the data type of the object. Now suppose I'm giving an example, convert a string to an integer. So string it's a higher data type, and you are trying to convert it to a lower data type. String number is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 is also, it's a numerical number, but it is supposed stored in string num variable as string, because I have enclosed them in double quotes. So whatever you will be enclosing in double quotes, it will be stored as string. So string num equal to 1, 2, 3. That means this 1, 2, 3 will be stored as string. I want to convert this in int. Then I will give another variable name as int num. You can give any name of the variable as I am repeatedly saying it. So int string num. Now it is basically converting this string num variable to integer. So if you type now print int num, it will give me 1, 2, 3. You can see this quotation mark is removed. That means successfully you have converted a string value 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 3 as integer. Now you can do lot of addition. So in this case, I want to mention one point, that in input function, whenever you are giving any input to the input function, it will be stored as string. Suppose I have given favorite number as 14, then it will be stored as string. So in that case, you have to convert it specifically by using int function, int string num, which is suppose equal to 14. Then it will be converting that thing into integer. So here comes the importance of explicit type conversions. Let's see some more conversions. Suppose I want to convert a float to an integer, that I was telling you. And suppose the float number value is 7.14. I'll be writing int num equal to int float num. Then the output will be coming as 7. So you can see what happened to the decimal. It is truncated. That means definitely there will be some loss of information, but I want the integer form of this floating point number. Then you have to make use of this int function, and you have to do explicit type conversion like that. Suppose I want to convert integer to a float. Already you have seen this case. So int num equal to 7, then float will be equal to float int num. Now it will be converted, 7 will be converted to 7.0. That you can see print float num, the output will be 7.0. So in this way, using some built-in function as int, float, str or string, you can do explicit type conversion. So let's move on to Jupyter Notebook.